Now I want to bring in Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland from Terrell County, Texas. Sheriff Cleveland spent just over 26 years in the U.S. Border Patrol. Sheriff, it's always good to have you. You and I have talked many times on air over the years. But today ushers in a new era at the border. I mean, to Mill's point, President Trump just signed a slew of executive orders, more than 10 of them at my count, in regards to the border. I'm curious how quickly that actually changes things. Do things feel different at the border this morning?
Hey, good morning, Markie. And it is good to be back on air with you. And look, the day President Trump was elected, we already had a better feeling and started seeing a change. And now that he is president, we will see an immediate change. And why I say that is when he brings back the migrant protection protocol, which keeps the asylum seekers in Mexico rather than let them in the United States and then let them go wherever they want. We will see changes there. Some of the other executive orders, such as bringing the Department of Defense down on the border. Look, that's nothing new. That's something we've done before. Back in 2019, 2020, I was actually Border Patrol's liaison to the Department of Defense down in San Antonio, Texas. Many other things that are going to be going on. But I must say, border security and immigration, as we've talked before, are two separate issues. We're going to get back to that border security stance, and then we'll start working on the immigration part.
Yeah, and what about mass deportations that we were just talking about? Because cities across the country, I'm here in Chicago, one of the ones, they are bracing for impact. They don't know what's about to come here. Now that Trump's in office, have you been given any more insights yourself as to when this is going to start and what that's actually going to look like on the ground?
No, ma'am, no insight whatsoever. But again, as Tom Homan mentioned, there may have been a leak, and operational security on efforts like this, on operations that either we at Border Patrol would carry out or Immigration and Customs Enforcement carry out. We're going to do that. So we have the advantage. But look, they're not going to be going into neighborhoods just trying to pick anybody and everybody off the street. They're going to have specific information on those that have either been ordered deported by an immigration judge or those that have criminal records here in the United States that have been identified as criminal. And they're not going to be going after necessarily those that, maybe have a misdemeanor. They're going to be going after those that are felons or have serious criminal histories.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that, Mills just pointed out some of these cities, sanctuary cities, are telling, undocumented immigrants, don't answer the door. You don't have to do that. Is that fact? I mean, what do you tell these families?
I'm sure many of them have been told that, and I'm sure those sanctuary cities continue to lead them down a path of wrongness, if you will, not giving them all the correct information and instilling fear in them. Look, again, they've made it very clear, talking about the president and Mr. Homan, Tom Homan, they're going to be targeting those that are criminal aliens. The gangs, Tren de Agua, MS-13. Look, if we just focused as a government on those individuals alone, there's going to be plenty of business to keep us all busy. Yeah. And I must say, in those communities where police chiefs respond or report to city governments, sheriffs in America have the ability to make a difference. We report to the voters, and the voters have spoken who they want as president and what they want transformed in our country.
I only have a few seconds left, but I can't not ask you this. I mean, just last night, declaring a national emergency at the border, stopping catch and release, reinstating remain in Mexico, resuming border wall construction, designating cartels as global terrorists. What more do you want to see here in the coming days? Or does that suffice, everything he did last night?
It definitely does suffice. And we got to go back to during the Biden administration. Look, this last 4 years has been a disaster. And I don't say that to poke, the eyes of this past administration. I've worked under bipartisan administrations before during my Border Patrol career. President Trump knows what we need. He's got leaders, Tom Homan, Rodney Scott, Michael Banks is the chief of the Border Patrol now. We're going to be in a much better position. And as I mentioned earlier, we already are.
Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, I got to end it there. Thank you so much, sir. Please keep us posted. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.